This is K.M. Wyland, and you are listening to the 39th episode of the Wordplay Podcast. It's been a hectic week. My 90-year-old grandmother suffered several strokes last Monday, and life's been a bit out of sorts ever since. When personal problems are upheaving your life, it's easy to let something as insignificant as writing slide to the back burner. But I know from experience that skipping writing isn't likely to help me find an extra measure of peace. So I've still made room in my busier-than-usual days to sit down and read the latest book on my research pile, or work on character and thematic notes for my latest edit of Dreamers Come. The bright spot of my week was when I discovered the reason my main character has always failed to pop. He's popping now, and I'm happy dancing around the room, thanks to a simple realization on how to significantly bolster his character arc by changing one of his actions in the first chapter. Don't forget to take a peek at the video series on my blog. The latest episode, Why the Devil is a Boring Bad Guy, shows why the ultimate bad guy doesn't always make for the ultimate story. You can watch the video on my blog at wordplay-kmwyland, that's weiland.blogspot.com. New videos are posted every Wednesday. Meanwhile, enjoy this week's podcast, 3 words that kill writing procrastination. Tell me if this sounds familiar. Your one precious hour of writing time, carved from the demands of your real life, has finally arrived. Your characters are poised, frozen in midair, waiting breathlessly for you to tell them what happens next. You scrunch into a comfortable position in your desk chair, poise your fingers over the keyboard, and... Wait, is that a smudge on the monitor? Better find a Kleenex and wipe that off so it doesn't distract you. And while you're at it, grab a soda from the kitchen just in case you get thirsty. Might as well bag the garbage while you're there. Which reminds you, when you get back to the computer, you better do a quick bit of research to see if you can find out when plastic garbage sacks were invented. And what the heck, might as well check Facebook one last time while you're at it. What's it gonna hurt, right? It'll only take a sec. The problem is that one sec leads to another, and before you know it, you glance at the clock to find you've wasted 50 minutes of your writing time not writing. Much as we love writing, as soon as we sit down and take one look at that intimidating blinking cursor, our tendency is to start procrastinating, usually with seemingly innocent minutia that adds up before we know it. It's a wicked cycle to defeat once it gets started. We get into the habit of thinking we need these procrastination techniques to ease us into our writing or to warm us up. So we check our email, plan our grocery list, or straighten all the pictures in the room. Longtime crime writer Lawrence Block had to play one game of solitaire for every page he wrote. At times, procrastination can seem like an incurable disease. Fortunately, however, I have an infallible solution, and it can be summed up in 3 little words. Just start writing. If it sounds simple, that's because it is. As soon as you sit down at your computer, start typing. Don't wait for the perfect moment of inspiration. Don't wait for the right words. Start typing, even if all you come up with is utter garbage. An object in motion will stay in motion. Once these fingers start flying over the keyboard, they're that much more likely to keep flying. On the other hand, once you start procrastinating by letting yourself do unimportant little tasks, you're likely to keep right on procrastinating. Don't fool yourself into thinking you can get away with that one peek out the window to see if the sun is still shining, and then I'll start writing. Maybe you will only take one peek, but then again, maybe you'll end up staring at the clouds for the next 10 minutes instead of writing that much farther into your manuscript. Procrastination is only a monster when we give it the opportunity to grow. So scare it away right from the start by awing it with the thunder of your furious typing. Thank you for listening to the Wordplay Podcast. To read a transcript of this episode, visit me on the web at wordplay-kmwyland, that's weiland.blogspot.com, and be sure to listen again next week.